Ziquilius.
Did Killian?
Feels like I fried your entire circuit with that one.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
Figured I'd throw it back a little bit. You know, I feel like on this podcast, I have an ever-changing look, an ever-changing kind of thing. I got the hood up. I got the hair back in the bun. I got the hair's doing whatever. Shirts, I feel like throughout our entire podcast, if you count the number of shirts I've wore, it's probably like 4 or 5.
I was going to say, it's
right.
probably, I have a revolving number of shirts that I go through on a daily, so.
But right now, fresh out the shower, I swear to God, I look like, I fell in love, or I don't know why, but in my head, I'm singing, if I die young, bury me inside, lay me down on a bed of roses.
I mean, yeah, I can see that.
Sing me on the... No.
I definitely have my same 4 or 5 shirts that I revolve through, and those are just the ones that I like to wear, because I have probably 10 other shirts that just don't seem to fit the occasion, I guess, whenever I think about wearing them.
We just had a massive undertaking where we had to clean out the downstairs area because we have a roommate moving in.
Oh.
And I'll explain the situation if you're curious off
am.
camera, but we had a lot of laundry baskets down there that we had put down there and just kind of forgotten about.
Yeah.
So a lot of my wardrobe is, I just recently, right before the Super Bowl, actually, I found my Eagles hoodie because I have a Philadelphia Eagles hoodie that I
didn't
got.
know that.
Yeah, at the NFL Hall of Fame, when I went up there, my second team was the Philadelphia Eagles. A shocker if you watched last episode and heard my thoughts on Philadelphia.
I mean, yeah, but the team and the city are 2 different things.
Yeah, I've always liked, green is my favorite color.
Hell
right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, Michael Vick, probably not the first one I should mention, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, Fletcher Cox, Jason Babin at the time, Brent Selleck, Jason Kelsey, that entire team. I loved that entire team.
Mm-hmm.
And then it moved into Carson Wentz and Alshon Jeffrey and Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount and Fletcher Cox, still old ass.
Before you continue with that, I'll have you know that out of every name you've listed in the last minute, I have only known 2. So,
see, I got this thing in my head where if I'm at work and my headphones are dead, or before I started using headphones, I'd be like, can I name every quarterback that has started a game for the Tennessee Titans for the past 15 years? And you know what's
how many
fucked
did you
up?
get?
15. Or
I thought
not
so.
15. I said 15 years, but I got every single one. That
All right.
Well, I say that I was giving the test and taking it, so who knows? I probably missed one.
I mean, I'd imagine you'd have to look up to confirm if you didn't already weren't sure that it was that person.
Yeah, but you could probably look up the past quarterbacks of any big team. When I look up past quarterbacks of the Tennessee Titans, I have to go through each year of their roster to get back.
Really?
Because no one gives a fuck about the Titans. No one gives a fuck about the Titans.
I'd imagine for all the stats people out there that they have something for the Titans, considering they're stats people.
Maybe. It's fucked up, though, that with the Ravens, it's 4 or 5? 15 years? Joe Flacco, Lamar Jackson, Tyler Huntley. I don't know if RG3 ever started a game for you.
I think in the last 15 years, the only 2 I do remember are Flacco and Jackson. So
yeah, it'd be starting at 2009. Flacco was drafted in 2008, and that dude didn't miss a game. It was a tank. With the Titans, oh God, I'm going to try to speed through this, okay?
All right.
So 15 years, 2009, you have Kerry Collins, Vince Young, Matt Hasselbeck, Jake Locker, Matt Castle, Blaine Gabbert, Marcus Mariota, Ryan Tannehill, Will Levis now. Malik Willis started a game for us. You also have Charlie Whitehurst, Zach Mettenberger. Who else? I want to say Rusty Smith maybe started one game for us. I think that's it. I think I just sped run the fuck out of that. And that's what, 17 names? not 17, like 12, 13.
Yeah, it was a few. It was quite a few.
The issue is Marcus Mariota got hurt all the time, so I know I'm missing some from like 2015 to 2019.
See, I would not know.
But I went up to the Hall of Fame and I saw the Titans gear that they had, and I saw the Eagles gear because they had a station for every team.
Yeah.
I wasn't rocking with any of the Titans stuff, but I really like the Eagles hoodie that I have. I've probably worn it on a podcast, and I got the Eagles hoodie.
I was thinking, I don't think you've worn it on the podcast. I may be wrong, but...
But outside of Amazon and the other company I worked at giving us shirts, I don't go clothes shopping for myself.
Most of my wardrobe, sans like the shirt I'm currently wearing and a couple others, were school, because they gave out free shirts all the time, and I think Amazon and a couple other jobs.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I like my shirts WF.
I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 work shirts, a couple of each.
Beautiful segue that I just led up into, because I have a certain thing that happened at my job that involves shirts.
Oh.
Amazon, I don't know if they had a backload of shirts that they were just like people didn't pick up or what happened, because we just received peak shirts from last year. So I think they had a backload and they're like, we have a ton of these. So they just put them on a cart in front of the break room.
Mm-hmm. What? You're rubbing your head like some idiotic shit went down. So what?
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell me.
Yeah. On both sides of the aisle, by the way.
Lord.
So, first idiotic shit that happens. You receive shirts at Amazon, right?
Yes.
Did you receive shirts in the fashion of them being put on the cart?
I believe once.
Okay, so maybe you can picture it in your head. For those of you at home, it's a black cart, right? About 6'5", okay?
Yeah.
Cart. Tall ass cart, shelves, and on those shelves, shirts are divided into sizes. The sizes are labeled on the sides of the cart.
Mm-hmm.
Why are people standing in front of the cart with 100 employees going on break, standing there, looking through as if they don't know their size, picking up a shirt, unfolding it, folding it back, picking up another shirt like it's not the same fucking design?
Okay. Riddle me this. Were these shirts actually categorized by the labels on the cart?
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Yes.
Never mind.
There was someone standing directly in the middle, so one person at the cart, standing directly in the middle so no one else could reach, going,
oh, Lord.
What are we talking? And there was a lady that went all the way to the 5XL and grabbed it. This little 130-pound, 5 nothing lady. And even the person looking over was like, what are you doing?
It was for her to wear at night or something. I don't know. I'm trying to make up a reason. It's not coming.
Those people are fucking stupid. Should be shot. Taken out of existence. There's no reason for that. Like I said in a previous podcast, thank God I'm not in power. Thank God murder isn't legal. Thank God the purge was not kicked off at that current time, because I would have pulled out a knife. I'm not lying. But
see,
I was doing my duty. I was steaming, right? I was furious.
Yeah.
I was pissed off, but hands behind my back, just looking away, because if I looked at that bitch, I probably would have caved the back of her head in. So I'm looking, and then this old fuck, right now hopping to the other side of the aisle of dumbasses.
All right.
He was like, is there a line? Is there a line? And then just shoulder checked people on the way to the cart, and shoulder checked, including like an old woman out and walked away. That person, I wanted to put on the ground and kick his head into the steel. Fuck off. Yes, I'm thinking these violent thoughts. I'm not going to do it because I'm not a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. And I don't give a fuck about well, he lived long enough. He deserves the right to be. Fuck you. Just because you didn't take yourself out, you think you deserve some kind of special fucking treatment? Just because you gotta fucking take special pills every morning and hope that Alzheimer's doesn't finally catch up to you, you think you deserve something from me? Fuck you. Fuck you. Go get some fucking soup, old man. Holy shit.
I'm glad I got to listen to your story before going on about my work problems because that lifted my spirits.
Dude, we've discussed the issues with patients and with people in public places. And I want to put out there, I'm not perfect. But at the very least, if I know or if I realize I'm taking a little bit longer, I look around. Make sure I'm not in people's way. It's not that fucking hard!
Common decency should be a skill that people have been taught when they were kids, to be upheld when they're adults. That apparently does not happen.
No. Because as I've said before, I'll reiterate, people are in their own little bubble.
Yep.
Their own little bubble. They don't give a fuck about anybody else.
Nope.
Unless they want to fuck you. That's weird. That's odd. Forget I said that.
I just to take your story into my own workplace. I work in the coolers, as I've probably said, and my part of my job includes giving our cafe their supplies that they need that's refrigerated, not frozen, and I think taking some stuff back to our prepared food section for them to have. Well, the issue with our cafe has been told to me multiple times over by my coworker that they wait until after we open to come to him and ask for stuff that they need for their freezer.
Yeah.
And he's like always gone off and told them like, hey, y'all are going to have to come to me earlier about this stuff. Like before we open, perhaps, so we can, take the lift out of the freezer and use it freely without needing to call somebody else over to spot for us.
Right.
They came to me. Keep in mind, they come in at 6. I go into work at 4 a.m. They come in at 6. They came to me at 9 o'clock and said, hey, could you pull down some stuff for us? I said, I checked my watch. I was like, it's 9 o'clock. Okay, what do you need? Sodas and cheese. Why did you wait 3 hours? 3 whole hours to ask me something that could have taken you less than 10 minutes to check and see what you had.
Yeah.
3 whole hours. That set me off for so long that I had to go into the cooler. I had to go into the cooler and chill out because that's an ongoing issue that is just you set me off of work for, I think at that moment would have been an hour and a half because I had to move stuff out of the way. I had to get stuff out of the freezer, out of the cooler so I could get to their shit. And then we had a truck delivering milk show up late again after we opened, which is not recommended because, milk is heavy when it comes in, a pallet of 500 or so jugs. Yeah. So, we would rather use an electric pallet jack or better yet, the forklift to take all that into the dairy cooler. No, the truck shows up at 10 o'clock. And I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm now set back 2 hours. I would have been completely and totally finished on time. I left work late today. I had to make it, I was like, I'm not staying too late because, we set a time to record and I wanted to be there. So I'm set back 2 hours and they want to come back. Cafe wants to come back and ask for more stuff because she said, there was no cheese on that pallet. I said, yes, there was. That's the whole pallet. I brought that pallet. That's the whole reason I brought that pallet to you. She's like, but there wasn't any cheese on it. I was like, there was. She's like, oh, there was 4 boxes. There you go. There you go. There's your truthful statement right there. Okay. How much more do you need? Well, it's for tomorrow. So Just set it down and we'll come get whatever. Why are you asking me now? When I have I'm literally unloading a pallet as we talk. And you're asking me this now.
Yeah.
Why? What reason? If you need it tomorrow, come to me tomorrow when you get in. When you get in before we open, you have a whole 2 hours before we open when you start your shift to come to me and ask for whatever you need. And I will happily get it for you. But if you wait till we open, at this point, I'm just going to start saying, no, I can't.
See, with stuff like this, you know, stresses at work, dumb people at work, and putting up with whatever. Mm-hmm. Thank God I'm not single. And I apologize if you take that as a slight. But the reason I say that is if I was single in the month of February, I don't know how I'd be able to make it out. And I'm not just talking about Valentine's Day, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just talking, that adds on because in February, Tennessee weather is complete dog shit. Like, it's horrible.
It was 60 last week and it's 11 this week. So
yeah, and it's going to be for the next couple weeks. And we're getting snow this week.
Yep, we got snow yesterday actually up here.
Not only are we getting snow this week, but at the end of last week, it was nothing but gag-inducing vomit skies. It was cloudy. We was had a whole rainy. Tornado. Dude, the weather tax commercials start coming around, so you get reminded at every single corner, hey, pay up. You want to exist in this government? You want to exist in this society? Pay me, motherfucker. So, yeah. Or we'll take maybe a year to pay you, but you better pay us soon.
You better pay us right the fuck now, or you're going to jail.
In February, all that shit just piles on top of to the already young adult trying to figure your shit out life. Mm-hmm. Right now, peek behind my eyes, I'm not in a great mental space. I'm going to be completely honest. Mm-hmm. But just that added on top of it, if I was single and I had to watch, I understand why people blow up AT&T buildings. You know what I mean?
See, my issue comes with I did my taxes 2 weeks ago, and I'm still getting emails from 3 different companies like, hey, action required, do your taxes now. Shut the fuck up.
The entire last couple months of the year last year, I kept getting TurboTax saying like, hey, your refund needs looking at. Hey, your tax. And I'm like, I did them, didn't I? I didn't call my lady. We did it. Like, they're done. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, I've already got my refund and everything, so I'm just like, there's no point anymore.
See, my issue is now that I'm married and we file our taxes together, we're having a bit of a dispute right now, but really none of y'all's business to get into that. But we have to wait on her W-2, and it still hasn't came yet. But mine has, and my health insurance form has, and her health insurance form has. So on top of having to do the taxes, now I'm worried about when is hers going to get in. I know it's going to get in before the due date. It has to. But worried about that. And just randomly throughout the day, I'm like, I know where the W-2 is, right? Like, you know, when we get hers, we can do it because, and then I'm like, holy shit, where it is. Call her, and she's like, it's right here.
Yeah, and I'm looking, because I found that story weird. Not for your fault at all, but the deadline to get W-2s to employees was January 31st. It's February 17th.
The deadline to mail them out is January 31st. That's what I...
deadline to distribute. So yeah, you're probably right. But even if they got mailed out already, they should have been there. That's takes like a little bit. Priority mail.
Yeah, but it's still like there's sometimes I won't even get mine until like the beginning of March. Like it takes a little bit for us. For some reason, it's always taken a little bit. I got mine 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
I got mine like 3 weeks ago.
If we don't have it by the end of the month, we'll probably start calling around to say like, hey, excuses, because they'll send you a copy, no issues, or she'll just talk to her boss up there and they will they'll
Yeah,
just hand her a copy, I believe. So
I just
there's no
found it
issue
weird.
in it, but
Because,
yeah.
I mean,
The deadline to file is in April, right?
yeah,
like
it's
the
in
middle
April,
of April.
something like
So
that, yeah. So I always do it beforehand, so I don't really know when that deadline is.
yeah, I
But
looked up the deadline like 2 years ago because I was waiting. I got my W-2, but I had to get my W-2 from my previous job, and it still wasn't there. So
that's why I found it confusing, because her job's in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
So like it's close. I mean, my previous job mailed mine to my house in Murfreesboro like last week or the week before.
Well, also it's like Amazon is headquartered in Seattle. I'm getting the W-2 from Seattle.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
they might have the copy in Murfreesboro, but it's mailed from Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't know where the headquarters, like she works in buildings in Nashville, but the headquarters of the company she works for, I'm not entirely sure where that is.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. I'm just, that was just my initial confusion.
Yeah, no, tax season
Sucks.
Especially when you come off the backs of, in November, you're like, thank God, I don't have to watch any more fucking political ads. I don't have to. Donald Trump approves this message. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this. Thank fuck I didn't have to watch any more of those commercials. And then January rolls around, and it's like, file your taxes today. Ah! Turn that down.
I hope you didn't scream. Okay, that's.
I screamed real loud.
Glad I didn't have to hear it then.
Fucking Jesus, man.
Just people, just back to work. People just annoy me so quickly for the tiniest things. And that's like, I said that, and I think with our New Year's resolution to be more patient. And like, I'm trying. I'm trying real hard. They're making it really fucking hard to do so.
What is patience, though? In your head, if you're flipping out and, slamming people's heads into the toilet before you give them a swirly. But on the outside, that's patience.
I mean, yes, but I feel like it's more of a mindset thing. So, like, not imagining their ending in my head as they're talking to me and looking them dead in the eyes, trying to keep a straight face.
Yeah.
I imagine it's more of a, okay, we'll just get it over with and, work through it. Instead, I was screaming and yelling in my head.
See, I had a moment of stupidity happen here at the house. And a bit of a bad omen to this new roommate, but there was, so me and my lady have noticed that our neighbors will just drive in the yard over and over and over again. And it's starting to really look like they do that over and over again. And we've gotten very annoyed that they do that over and over again. Well, I leave the house, and they're moving down in the basement, so they had people that came around and went through the bottom garage.
Yeah.
No problem. And to do that, the person that was staying here for a long amount of time parked their truck in the yard. No problems. I just told my lady to tell them, because I was, running out the house. I said, tell them, move the truck when they leave. She said, bet. I come home, the truck is still there. Talked to my lady, and she said that she told them, hey, move the truck, but when you leave. Why did you give him that caveat? Why did you give him that out? Just tell them to move the truck. She didn't
want to be the bad guy.
So now, next day comes, right? I wake up. The truck is still there. And it's pouring rain.
Truck is going to stay there now.
I get to work, and I get back in the morning. Truck's gone. Or no, truck's now next to my parking space. Finally. I walk in, and my lady's like, oh my God, he was freaking out. I said, why? She said, because his truck got stuck.
You fucking think you wait for it to rain on grass for you to move your truck.
And not only that, she texted him while I was still there to move the truck, and it took him hours to move the fucking truck.
Dude, I'd have some issues. I'd have some issues.
Dude, My God, dude. My fucking God.
Yeah, no, luckily for me, I mean, our yard is kind of split and we don't have to take care of it. So I'm not too worried about whatever our neighbors do in our yard. Because, I mean, they park their cars. They have like 4 or 5 cars. They park them all like wherever they can fit. And sometimes that ends up being in front of their door. So I'm just like, you're half of the yard. I don't care.
Yeah, I mow the yard. And sometimes I mow their portion of the yard if it's getting real bad. Mm-hmm. Which I've been a piece of shit about. I've let the yard get up to where half of Opie is covered when he walks into it. Because I'm a lazy. I was a lazy shit. I'm fairly good at it now, but because I take care of it, and especially when it's been raining, when they just cut through the grass, I feel the middle-aged dad coming on of just like, what
get
are
off
we
my
doing?
grass.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, no. If I had to like take care of the yard, or if I was taking care of the yard, I would definitely have said something about it a lot faster than not saying anything at all. Because of course I'd be annoyed. And I've like mowed yards for not a living, but like for extra cash for several years as I was growing up. So I mean, I was pretty adamant about how yards looked. And given I still sort of am now because it's just kind of ingrained, but it's not as much of a worry to me.
I got $90 for a job I did with my dad, mowing a yard for his boss, right? 5 acres of land, and he had a weed eater, a push mower, and a zero return. It's the first time I ever used a zero return. But 2 things I ran into. One, we pretty much used the zero return for the entirety of the backyard, but there was a spot where he was growing trees or plants on a hill, on a decline of a hill, right?
Yeah.
And we had to wrap around those trees while trying not to slide too far. So the entire time I was driving through that, I was going, But he also had the ditch where his drain was. Mm-hmm. It was like that, dude. That thing was steep, and I had to mow the entire thing with a push mower. Fuck that. I was going to say,
yeah, we did it with a weed eater.
Fuck that.
We would do, like, if it was like a ditch, we would do that with a weed eater. For a giant, like, for a hillside, try your best. I know this is, like, in the past, but we would, like, try our best to stay going one direction so we wouldn't have to turn as much to try and keep from sliding.
I'll tell you, zero turn is fun as shit.
Oh, yeah.
I loved doing the zero turn. I grew up, I learned, a regular John Deere lawnmower.
Yeah.
At my mom's house, my brother got hella lucky. The progression was supposed to be you learn how to weed eat when you get of age to be able to hold it up for however long, right? Mm-hmm. And then when the next brother comes up at the age to be able to weed eat, you upgrade to the lawnmower. So I was hyped up, but the brother that came up to learn the weed eater was allergic to grass. So I was stuck on the weed eater for another couple of years. And let me tell you, the amount of times I almost broke that thing because of the process of stringing a weed eater. Holy fuck. And it was a double layer thing.
Did you have I almost said expensive, but not expensive. Did you have like a convoluted weed eater or something?
No.
I'm going to say, for ours, all we did, we stuck the string, like we'd cut, the length of string, and we'd stick it through the holes, and then you just kind of twist the bottom part, and then we'd just wrap it up.
See, this one, you had to, so it was a double layer one, right? For my fat asses out there, imagine like a double layer oatmeal cream pie, Yeah.
Like
one of those. It looked like that. Hey, I be feasting on those.
I see.
Not good for being pre-diabetic. You can see that's disrespectful.
No, I see because you
leave the
that's
call.
Your,
you
that's,
can see.
No,
you
that was your
see.
example. That's why I could see. You chose a double layer oatmeal cream pie as your example. That's not my fault.
To describe what I'm describing, what would your example?
I don't know.
Be?
I don't even know what you're trying to describe.
Okay, so I'm fucking all right. But you would take the string, you would cut it to length, and then you would wrap it around the first layer, and you would hook one end on a little nub, right, that held it, and then you would move that string to the top layer, wrap it tight, and hook the other end on a nub, put that into the head, screw it in, and then pull the string tight, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of times I put that bitch in the head and the string just went. Ooh. Ooh. For those of you who aren't watching the video, it would puff out and I would have to go back in and tighten it and it would come off the nub. And I chucked that thing across my yard and then I had to do the walk of shame all the way to go get it because it's not like we had another one.
Yeah. See, my granddad, he's like made lawn mowing like one of his side businesses or a side business. I can't say one of. I think that's like his only one. But he had 3 zero-turns and like 2 weed eaters and like one leaf blower that was like a backpack and the other that was just like a regular leaf blower. So he had a bunch of equipment and I've learned how to use all of it. Kind of had to. Because he, after a few years, he's like, I'm getting old. My back hurts. You need to start weed eating. So, yeah.
See, now I don't have a leaf blower, but with all the shavings that get on the sidewalk, I take the lawnmower and I raise the blades a little bit.
Yep.
And I just slowly go over the sidewalk and it.
Yeah, that's what we did. That's what helped out with like some of the heavier yards.
Yeah, I just do here. I don't even have a weed eater. I have a push mower. And it does just fine.
They say you can just take a push mower straight up to the side of the wall or whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as nice as it would with a weed eater, but the fucking grass is cut.
I would say you get what you got. You got what you have. So
yeah, I've been wanting forever. I need a new lawnmower. Every time I start that thing, I'm nervous. I start that. It's an old ass lawnmower that we got as a hand me down from her parents, but I'm like, huh.
I think over the years, my granddad's given us I think a push mower that he no longer wanted, and then at some point he showed up with a riding mower that wasn't a zero-turn. But I was like, where did that even come from? Because he didn't have one of those. So
I will say, in regards to like yard work and shit. Have you ever gotten a compliment that, like, when guys get compliments, it sticks with you years, 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, fucking women. No. But, like, women get compliments a lot, or, like, almost every day, right?
Yeah.
Well, especially now, whether that's online or whatever. I know I'm talking. I know there's probably women saying, I don't get compliments because you're ugly, bitch. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's a wrongful statement by Jackie. Z will not stand behind that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to dig my way out of some kind of problematic talking from an experience that I've never had. So,
yeah.
And then I just pull out, if you're not getting compliments because you're ugly. Oh, my God. Hey,
Continue.
Listen, go ahead and flame my ass, all right? I'll look the way I do. But no, I think I've told you this story. We moved into this place right after her best friend and her best friend's dude at the time. And her best friend was back in the yard, and I think the dude was at work, but I had woken up and I was getting ready or whatever. She was like, hey, she needs to, like, she's doing this. Can you go out and help her? I said, yeah. What she was doing is she pulled her truck up to the garage, and she was taking a bunch of tires and putting them in the truck, and she was going to take them somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So she had a lineup of like 4 tires. And she was like, oh, hey, thanks for the help. I said, yeah, no worries. And I pick up each one by one, while she just stands there. And I see her, like, out of the corner of my eye, I see her going. Because these things were like 80 pounds each. These motherfuckers are heavy.
Oh, you had some big fucking tires, didn't you?
Yeah. So I just, squat, lift them up, put them in the truck. I did every one by myself. And she just went, thank you. And I said, yeah, no problem. And I walked back inside. A couple days later, my lady comes up to me and she's like, what did you do? I was like, what are you talking about? And she said that her best friend came back inside when her and her talked by themselves again and said, hey, like, Jack has never been attractive, but that was hot. And I swear to God, every insult that bitch is throwing at me in my head, it's like one of those fucking, it's one of those memes where it's like when you have the insult that'll end the argument, but it'll actually hurt the person. I swear to God, every time she's gotten upset or she's just messing around, like throwing insults, I'm just like,
it's like, I've got something on you, bitch.
I know something I know I'm not supposed to know. She wasn't supposed to tell me that. I know that.
Hell yeah. It's like, now I've got dirt.
Yeah.
I love receiving compliments every now and again. Though I've always like been, I still am, to be honest, like really shy about it. So, I mean, you don't get them very often. So
I can't accept a compliment.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to accept a compliment.
My lady got upset with me because we were talking about something. And I was like, yeah, your perfect heaven would just be... We were talking... This isn't a good look. We were talking about Chick-fil-A. No, I said, your perfect heaven would just be eating some Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets with some Andy's ice cream, with all of our animals. She was like, yeah. I said, yeah, and just Bug and Grandma chilling there. She was like, yeah. And she waited, and I didn't say anything else. And she was like, and you. And then she started crying. She was like, you're important to me. And I said, yeah, I don't like,
Not her
I don't
crying.
like putting, yeah. She was legit pissed off because she hates when I talk down on myself. And
fair.
like in her mind, I guess she also thought that I don't feel like she makes me feel important. And that's what she opened with. I was like, no, I don't like myself enough to put me into your heaven. She was like, you're my fucking husband, asshole.
Get his
like,
ass.
I know, but like,
hey, she wouldn't have picked you to marry if she didn't like you. So you might as well just accept that one at the very least.
That's loaded. Have you ever gotten a compliment though that you've been like, what?
Not that I can think of.
I was working at the factory before I worked at Amazon.
Yeah.
And I was just standing. I think I was a stacker, so I'd get the boxes and put them on a pallet.
Yeah.
So I was at the very end of the line, and 2 women were coming up behind me to go to another station on the line. And they said, Jack, you have some fantastic calves. And I was like, what? What is a fantastic calf?
Said calves of steel, my boy.
Yeah. So every day, every now and then I'll be laying down, I'll just flex my calf a little bit and be like, hell yeah.
I don't think I've gotten a comment that made me go like, where did that come from? Sort of like, why was that the compliment? Never thought that.
Yeah, no. The calves one threw me for a loop. I've been complimented on my hair color, my eyes. My lady likes to remind me how fat my nose is. Luckily, she's not like, I'm not going to do that. But like, I never in my life thought I would ever get a compliment about my calves.
Yeah, I mean, the only compliment that usually comes around to me is about my eyes. Just because I don't really see it, but everybody says I have beautiful eyes.
Quick eye check.
Yeah, I had to.
My
We'll zoom
lady
in and
will
look it
just-
over.
My lady will be, watching me, just listening to me, and she'll be like, "You have such pretty eyes." I don't see it.
I do like your eyes. They're good old, what's that, blue? I can't really tell very well from the cameras, but they're light. Your hair also. Yeah,
I
go ahead and
see
accept
why
these
you were-
compliments, my guy. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
see why you were deflecting me calling everything gay. Like, you need to,
Yeah, okay, totally.
Need to make way out of the closet right now. No, they're green. I believe they're like a light green. I
Got
used
some
to think they
good
were
eyes,
blue.
my boy.
I used to. You have some phenomenal eyes, boy. I used to say they were blue, but that's just because I'd never looked in the mirror and I heard people saying that blue eyes were attractive. So I would just say, "I have blue eyes." They'd be like, "All right, fat ass," and I'd be like, "Oh."
I stuck with hazel, at least like naming my own eye color. I stuck with hazel for a few years. And then now I
Yeah.
just kind of say they're brown. They're like a light brown, so I'll just stick with brown.
The first insult my lady will throw. The first insult she'll throw at me is how big my nose is. She'll just start. She either call me fat ass or big nose, and that's it.
She's got to come up with more names, nicknames, or insults.
Well, I'm saying that's it. That's the first thing that comes out of her mouth.
Oh,
She
okay.
either says dumb fuck, dumbass. She doesn't say anything
Usual.
like lard ass. That'd be funny.
I'll text her and be like, "You got to call Jackie lard ass sometime and do
Yeah,
it."
you
like,
send her a
while we're
whole
live.
notepad of like 50 names.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I see her getting mad at me, and she just opens up her phone to your text messages. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like nothing. You fucking lard ass.
See, since I've been bullied a lot, nothing really gets to me. I've heard everything in the book, and now when someone just finds a different way that I've heard 1,000 times to call me fat, I'm just like, come on. There's only one thing that I've gotten legitimately pressed about.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that?
Try to guess. I'll give you a guess.
Oh, was it the fathead one?
No.
Oh, never mind.
No, I play that up, but I know I got a big ass head.
Oh, then I have.
And I know
no
it's
clue.
funny to hear people say that we don't have anything that fits your big ass head in the entirety of this warehouse, and we don't think we can order one that's big enough. I know that's funny.
Don't do that to me.
I know that's funny. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's when it's like you're not man enough, you're not masculine enough. That gets to me, just because it's a big insecurity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can
that's
see
that's the one where I'm in my head a lot of not being a man, and I know but shut the fuck up. Okay.
I mean, knowing that insecurity of yours, I could see that getting to you, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Even it's like my lady will say stuff like, "Oh, I'm more man than you," or "I do more manly stuff than you," and I don't care just because I know she's joking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But her friend did it one time, the same friend who I helped out, and I legitimately got upset. And the next time she saw me, she was like, "Hey, didn't mean it." I said, "I know, I was being a baby, but it's because I am getting upset about that stuff with someone who's joking around. You are being a baby, but it is an insecurity of mine that I can't. Not saying being fat, being fat is an insecurity of mine, but I guess I've heard it so much it's kind of calloused over with people repeatedly saying I'm obese or overweight. It's like I know, I know.
I mean, I was also bullied heavily as a kid. So, I mean, I've heard just about every insult in the books. But at this point, I don't take the calling me obese as an insult because, I mean, for one, I fucking know I'm fat. So I'll just agree with you. And two, I mean, well, I have been slowly but surely taking steps to manage my own weight. So, I mean, I know that, okay, sure you're saying that, but I already know that I'm fixing my own problems as I see them.
Yeah.
So it just kind of rolls off the back.
Yeah, and I guess I've learned a lot now. Of those people don't know me.
Yeah.
Like there was at one point I did make a video on TikTok where I was like, you know, people love to insult people, make fun of people, and either try to cover their ass a little bit because they know they're being shitty, or legitimately they think, oh, I'm bullying someone and that's going to help them. No?
No.
It might help some people. I'm not saying nobody will take being bullied for being overweight and lose weight, because that does happen.
Yeah.
But when I am already upset and I, you know, open TikTok and on my video, instead of people talking about the topic, it's just like fat ass, fat ass, fat ass, fat ass. It just makes me want to eat a whole tub of ice cream and jerk off. You know?
I was going to say the bullying into self-improvement I only ever see on social media.
Yeah.
So I haven't experienced it myself, because I mean, even like my buddy that I went to the gym with, we would like match each other rep for rep, but we never like, your girlfriend's gonna leave, you're gonna be alone forever, she's gonna be fucking Jim or some shit. Like we don't really do any
She's
of
gonna
that.
be Jim.
So I mean, I could see it working, and I've known of people to do something similar, but myself and other people just not. It doesn't work. It's not going to work.
You know, I wanna say something to people. Okay, and we might end on this because might have to end a little early just so I got time to warm up my car and shit.
That is true. Yes,
but sometimes you just need a helping hand, and that's okay. And for people who will offer that helping hand, offer it up, because people can achieve what they never thought possible just with a bit of help. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a story. I think I told this on the podcast. I'll tell it again. You can tell me if you remember or if you forgot it. All right.
Gotcha.
So in football, in high school, one of the things that came along with that was going to the weight room every day, which I loved. I enjoyed weightlifting. But I was never, like, I played a lot faster and stronger than I actually was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in the weight room, like, if you were on the field with me, you would think I'm this just monster, right?
Yeah.
But in the weight room, I struggled to bench like 250, right? I struggled. I think my max squat I ever got up to was 420. And for a regular person, you might be like, holy shit. But for an offensive lineman, you should be around like 475. Like, and not to put emphasis on the weight room, because that's just going to lead to bullshit. But like on paper, a high school offensive lineman, if you're just reading a paper and you want to say like, oh, this guy could be something. This guy is a good player, whatever. 475 squat.
Yeah.
But I guess my coach got sick because he thought I could do a lot more. So with my spotter, my head coach just pushed him to the side and said, this is what you're going to do. He put 2 plates on each side, along with a 25 on each side. Just said, do it, right?
Don't even squatting or
just
benching?
Do it. Benching.
He hit you with like 275 or some shit.
So I lifted up, put it to my chest, and as soon as I put it to my chest, dude squats all the way in my face. He's like, don't you fucking quit on me. Don't quit on me, boy. Push that thing up. Put just in my ear, right? And I did it. Fully locked it out, put it back, stood up, and he was like, my max at that time, 195, maybe. And I stood up, and he was like, you know how much you just did? I said, no. He said, 280. And I legitimately went, what?
Now, if you said your max was almost 100 pounds lower, that's just dangerous.
No,
That is legitimately dangerous.
Well, I mean, it's dangerous, but it's not like he couldn't have caught it, right?
I mean, yeah, but that's like straining yourself, kind of hernia, not prepared to lift that weight. I mean, given
he put a lot of fucking faith in me.
Yeah,
He put a lot of faith in me. Maybe it was he didn't see me trying as hard as he thought I could. He maybe didn't. Whatever he saw. The more the story is, go help someone, because even they don't know how much they could accomplish with just a little help.
I was going to say a lot. I just actually watched another podcast, Linus Tech Tips. For those that don't know, it's like the tech guy, one of the tech guys. And on that show, they were talking at one point about the placebo effect and how useful it actually is, and that's an example right there. Like, you didn't know what you were lifting, but your max was a lot lower than that, and he just pushed you to do it. And your mind, of course, opened you up and was like, I can do it. So, you did it.
Yeah.
That's how much that just like placebo effect can help. Telling somebody they could do something, telling them, helping them. That's a way to do it.
I will say a little gym tip for those of you, just because this reminded me of a story with Dangerous. If you are angry, be careful. Like when you're angry, when you're angry lifting, it can help. It could be just fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was pissed off, and I forgot why I was pissed off, but it was max day with power cleans. For those of you who don't know what power cleans is, bar starts at the floor, and you start in a squat. Lift up, bar over your head. I think that's a power clean, right? I know it was hang clean. Hang clean, you hang it just above your knee. You up, catch it right here in a squat. You squat it all the way up and drop it. Okay?
Okay.
For video, that was helpful for people at home. You catch it around your chest, like right across your chest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did that. My max, I did 80 pounds over my max for my first rep. And it's because I was angry. I lifted it, hung it, knew it was too heavy, but I was pissed off. So I tried to do it, missed it, and the bar hit my thigh so hard. Dude, I fell to the ground and I just crawled back and I felt just a lump forming in my leg.
Yeah.
Dumbass. Dumbass.
Idiot. See, before we end here, I've got to bring up some gym stories for myself. You said you squat, 4 or something?
The max I ever got was 420. 415, 420.
The last time, it's been probably like 2 years since I've squatted, but I can bring up my my leg press record, which is like 627 or some shit. Because the machine had a 167 differential. And gotta say, that was a fucking struggle. Because I was going up against my buddy who played a lot of golf and like for teens and whatnot. And I've been told that that's a lot of like leg workout. So like he had already had a step up with me on that one. But I said earlier, like we match each other rep for rep.
Yeah.
So he was like, "You just gonna let me outpace you like that?" Because I wasn't going up there for a hot minute. I was sticking around like the 590 mark. And he was like, "You just gonna let me outpace you?" And I said, "Damn it, load him up."
Yeah.
And I did it.
I'll leave you on the funny. I swear to God, I'm sorry, but this has to be the last one.
Got you.
It reminded me. Another gym story I had in that school was, we did pull-ups, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for those of you who couldn't do the full pull-up, raising my hand.
Raising mine too.
Dude, 340 pounds trying to lift that bitch? No, wasn't happening. Mm-hmm. So they had them thick-ass rubber band kind of things.
Yeah.
You'd put up on the pull-up bar and they'd help you. It wouldn't do it fully, but they'd help you.
It would assist, yeah.
My spotter, the buddy who paired up with me all the fucking time, he hated me because I would step off that thing and just let it sling into the ceiling. And he thought I was going to get in trouble for that. He found out why I did that.
Oh no.
Dude, he would do 1 foot at a time and like try to like lean back, grab the band and do another foot.
Yeah.
Well, this time he stepped off with 1 foot, stepped off with his right, but the band wasn't really secure on his left foot. So when he stood off on his right, that thing snapped that boy's sack so hard.
I bet anybody that saw that crouched down or something.
Oh my God, dude. I was on the floor laughing because his face and the sound he made, dude, it hit him and he went, ah!
That's hilarious.
Dude, he almost threw up. He was on the floor holding that thing, dude. And he never wanted to see that thing again. He was like, I'll do it.
They don't hold up your entire body weight, but they're meant to hold up quite a bit of weight. So those things are under some fucking tension.
Yeah. Plus, like, his full body weight was standing on it. So, like, he was getting off. That thing was ready to go. And like I saw, it would snap, and it was, you know, the regular school ceiling where you could push it out, and it would just hit that thing up. And
dude, yeah, no, I'd do the same shit. I'm not trying to step off with 1 foot and have that happen to me.
Yeah, no, I knew that was the danger. I'll take a little. If it hits my hair on the way up, it hits my hair on the way up. Yeah. If it smacks me on my ass a little bit, I'm cool with that. Better than the sack.
Yeah, that's just pain.
But with that being said, we hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Make sure to like, rate, and share, especially rating, especially sharing. Z, what's a little cheeky little rating, 5 stars that they could leave?
Man, these guys really have to have some sort of issues and need to find new jobs. 5 stars.
Absolutely. But share as well, whether that's clicking the crooked arrow, sharing to whatever platform you have for it to be posted, got through it, or word of mouth. Word of mouth is very, very important. Z, if their buddy comes up and says, hey, I want to hear some funny gym stories. I want to hear some aggravated work stories. I want to hear just some motivation. I want to hear all of this. What do they tell them?
You tell them you can head on over to the boys Jackie and Z over at Red Light Homies, where they give you all of that and more.
Absolutely. This was the homies Jackie and Z.
That's me.
We'll see y'all next Monday.
Peace out.